All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Let's talk about outcomes versus process today. Here's how you got to look at outcomes. Outcomes are like an addictive drug. They're going to give you this quick high, but then they're going to leave you in search, ravenously in search for the next hit. So if outcomes are the addictive drug, process is the cure. This is what kills the addiction. This is what's going to keep you grounded and keep you in the game. And this morning, the inspiration for this episode comes from Think Like a Billionaire by James Altucher. And I came across a section that drives this perfectly. So let me read to you what he wrote. He said, if you write a book, you're going to get rejected. If you start a business, some investors are going to say no. They don't want any part of your business. There are going to be times that you work with customers, and customers hate you and hate your product. And there are going to be other times where you're on stage telling a joke, and some people aren't going to laugh. All of these are outcomes. And he said, I used to be addicted to them because these were the dopamine hits, the likes, the money, the fame, the approval, the validation, and they left him feeling miserable. If it was the outcome that he wanted, it was fleeting. If it was the outcome he didn't want, it weighed heavily. This is why you have to be addicted to the process. See, process is different. Process, he said, is watching the video after you bomb on stage. Process is studying the game film after a loss. It's submitting your manuscript the 16th time after 15 rejections. It's outlining improvements to your product and then executing on those things. It's having these difficult conversations. It's even falling in love again. And it's being kind when no one expects you to be. Outcomes are echoes of the past. Process is where your brain is actively engaged. And you got to use it or lose it. Here's the truth. I can heavily influence the outcome through my actions. But really, I can't control it. The universe casts the deciding vote. Because in hindsight, man, I've done everything right and failed. And I've half-assed some things and somehow still stumbled into success. This is why process matters. It keeps you in the game. So as the game changes, you get to change right along with it through the process. See, outcomes are just feedback. That's all they are. These are the mile markers along this infinite game of life that we're playing. And if you attach yourself to the outcomes, then you're going to set yourself up for disappointment. But the process is endless. It's never going to sell you out. It's going to keep giving you the next step, the next challenge, the next opportunity. Outcomes, I mean, think about different outcomes in your life. They were hollow and they were fleeting. The only outcomes that really stuck to you are the ones where you missed. And you still feel them today. But the euphoric highs, bro, how fast are those just like, whoosh, they do. I mean, we dream up these outcomes and we think they're just going to be these life-changing events for them. But bro, I've hit the goal, and some of the worst moments in my life were after I hit the goal because I had nothing behind it. I was so outcome-oriented that I hit the goal and it was like, oh my God, I don't have anything to chase this morning. I don't have a hunger. I've arrived. And this is where complacency, bro, you're just a big ass target for complacency. And man, some outcomes I've hit, I worked my ass off to get there, only to realize it wasn't worth it. It wasn't what I expected. It's very hollow and just, whoosh, it's gone. The feeling is gone. It's like, all right, what now? This is why you got to have the chase. The process is never going to leave you in a void. It hands you your next mission without even asking. Why? Because it's an infinite game. It never ends. It's just you just plod along. Next mission. I mean, there are some outcomes in my life that really in the moment felt like they were the end of the world. But as things played out, as you breathed time into it, oh my God, it ended up being some of the best moments in my life. And then there were other moments that have felt completely miserable. You grow through a process, but you shrink with outcomes. Outcomes make you soft. They make you complacent. Process is what's going to make you adaptable. It's going to make you curious. It's going to make you creative. See, every day the world is my lab. I get up before anybody else does. I get up to a fresh page, man. I get a fresh start. And I get to write on that page of life. This is why I work my daily core 6. I win the day before 8, 9 o'clock. So no matter what happens throughout the day, I've already won. I just work my process. See, the high is in the chase, man. The outcome is just the byproduct. That's all it is. And you have to understand that process is never going to let you down. I think Kim Perrell said it best on Ed Milet's show. She said, your belief has to be stronger than anyone's doubt. Phew. Your belief has to be stronger than anyone's doubt. Because, see, when you're solely outcome focused, doubt gets amplified, not only by yourself, but also all the naysayers, sometimes even your family members, because they're looking at it and they're like, are you crazy, man? I mean, you've done all you can. I mean, this is, look, just get like it. Your belief has to be stronger than someone else's doubt. And so being process focused every day is what reinforces your belief through action. She said you got to be clear on where you're going, but be flexible on how you get there. This is why process is so powerful, because it makes you adaptable. Outcome fixated makes you crispy. It makes you rigid. And you end up missing opportunities because they don't fit into some narrow pea-headed plan that you have. So you're not flexible. To Perel's point, you got to be flexible. You're just working a process, but see, you're leaving room open for life to give you some guidance, to just go along the way. Everything will go your way as long as you just adjust for the way, because you're process driven. But when you're outcome oriented, I mean, you're all like, ugh, and you're just trying to force life to go back in your favor. And life is saying, this is actually in your favor. 5 years from now, you're not qualified to see this. We got to play this thing out. But you're so adamant about forcing life to go your direction that life is like, okay, I tried to tell you something, and then it ends up being the worst thing in the world. You're like, what the? That's what happens. So just look at where you are right now, bro. Like if you're not where you want to be right now, just zoom out. Work the sequence. That's what the process is, man. Just work the sequence. And don't get caught up whether it's working or not. This ain't working, okay? Doesn't mean it won't work. Sometimes there's just efficiencies going along the way. Sometimes it's bringing you clarity and answers that are going to they're going to bubble up. They're going to reveal themselves along the way. But first, bro, you got to earn them. I really think sometimes the universe is just testing us to see if we're committed, to see if we're resilient, to see how gritty we are, to see if we're deserving. See, you deserve success, but you're not entitled to it. And I really feel like that some of the outcomes that I didn't get were actually protections. Life was saying, I'm just not ready yet. And they are for you too. The process, bro, is where you should geek out. This is where you don't get addicted to the drug of the outcomes. And I'm not saying it's always going to be straight roads, blow pops, rainbows, and unicorns. It's not. But it damn sure keeps life interesting. I mean, think about it. What would you share a drink over and laugh about to other people? I mean, if you won every single time, if everything was just on the straight and narrow, if everything was exactly like you expected, bro, you know how boring your life would be? People would be like, he's uninteresting. the process, man, just it gives you the flexibility. It keeps life spicy, and you go, man. You just go along the way. So if you're not where you want to be, man, good. You're not supposed to be there yet. Just look at the feedback that you're getting. These are just temporary blips, man. It's where you are. It's not who you are. It's where you are on the map. This is a big-ass map you got here. Okay, so you just make the tiny course corrections and stop feeding this narrative that you're not worthy. To get out of all that. Just work a process. And if you don't know exactly what the process is, you can follow my daily course 6. I'll send it to you. Or you can find your own. But it's something, man, a core is something you stay, like your core here, it stays up and down. This is what keeps you erect. This is what keeps you, solid. So everything else may be kind of janky from top to bottom, but that core, if you can have that core, man, that's the tree trunk. And so that core that you're working, that process, head in the direction that you want to go. Do just a few things every single day that keep you growing and going. This is why I like the daily course 6, because I think it works for everybody. You wake up when you said you were going to wake up. You read at least 15 minutes. You write at least 1 page. That way you can empty your mind, clarify your thoughts. Then you can work out, get some movement in. 5 and 6, if that doesn't ring your bell, fine. I think you should be sharing something of value as you learn. Best person to help is someone you once were. And then designing your day. What are you going to wear today? What are you going to eat today? This is what keeps you along that process. And it all feeds into whatever happens in the day. I mean, everybody says trust the process. And you really should. It sounds so cliche to say, but you really should. Trust the process, because you damn sure can't trust the outcomes. Outcomes will backstab you in a minute. They will. They'll push you to alienate everything around you to get there, and only to realize, it's not even what you expected to be. Or you don't get there and you just quit and think you're less than a person. But if I work a process, man, it goes right along with me. It evolves with you. It shrinks with you. Just depends on what you're doing in the process. If you pull back on that process, it's going to pull back on you. If you feed that process, you're going to build that momentum. It's going to go along with you. It's always going to give you a way forward, but you got to feed that thing every single day. All right? So where have you been outcome focused versus process driven? Look at where you are. What's your perspective right now? I mean, what are you just looking at so much, but then you're not getting the results? Look at the process. The results are going to come how they need to come, the way they need to come, if you just adhere to a process. And that process will grow along with you. Okay? You don't need a perfect one. You just need something to start, feed it. It'll have, because it has space and margin, it'll evolve with you. It'll grow with you. My process, what I do today, is totally different than what I started doing back in 2017, or is pretty different than what I was working back in 2017. Some of it's got similarities to it, but now, at the time I couldn't, I could conceptualize it. I couldn't really speak it. Now I can boom, boom, boom. This is what it is. But it took, I don't know, it took 6-7 years, man, for that to come about. And I didn't have, in 7 years, I just worked the process. I didn't know anything else. I was just like, well, this is all I know to do. And so that's what, it's got to make sense to you. And then you do these things and they grow along with you. And then this is where all of the suddens come about. All right. So just look at your process and your outcomes. Were you frustrated? Probably because you're just hanging your hat on outcomes. Okay. Where can you start growing again? Get out of this stuck mud. Work the process. You didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. Okay. You want something. It's not going to come to you overnight, but you can do it every day. And eventually things will tip in your favor, and ultimately you're going to succeed. All right, let's get out of here. Be sure and share this episode with one person. Somebody needs to hear this besides you. Pay it forward. This is the only way that we can help grow the show. All right. With that, keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle, stay tough. Peace.